Hello, this is Anald. For this presentation, I'll be discussing about the pharmacokinetics. If you haven't watched the chapter 1, which tackles about the introduction and routes of administration, I request you to watch that first. So, for a quick recap for the branches of pharmacology, we have the pharmacokinetics and the pharmacodynamics. What are the difference? So, pharmacokinetics is basically the ADME, the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. It is what the body does to the drug, whereas for pharmacodynamics is the effect or what the drug does to the body. For this presentation, we'll be talking more on the pharmacokinetics. So let's tackle first with the absorption. So absorption is the movement of a drug from its site of administration to the bloodstream. So from drug to the bloodstream. I've already discussed about the routes of administration, which are the enteral, parenteral, topical, and the inhalation. Okay, so let's talk more on the factors influencing absorption of drug for the ocular aspect. So we have here number one factor is the drug concentration and solubility, where it states that the higher the concentration, the better the penetration. So let's take for let's have an example. Tropicamide, we have 0.5% concentration and 1% concentration. Both are tropicamide, but differ in concentration. So naturally, the 1% here is more effective because it is better in penetration. Okay. So for number two factor is our viscosity, where it states that the more the viscosity, it increases the contact time with the cornea. Okay. So how do we analyze this viscosity? So take for example, honey, di ba dugay na siya mo flow. So that has higher viscosity, whereas ang water kay maka-free ra og flow. So in a sense, we can define viscosity as how tightly packed the liquid has it together for it to flow freely. Okay? So it states here that it increases contact time with the cornea. So if dugay maka-flow ang kanang liquid or na-instill na solution sa mata is mas taas ang iya time to react with the cornea. Okay. Next is we have the lipid solubility, where it states that the higher the lipid solubility, the more the penetration. So nga nung lipid solubility man and not the water soluble na drugs. Okay? So I want you to have a recap with the tear film layers. So again, these are the tear film layers. We have for the most outer part, we have the lipid layer, followed by the pinakadakuan nga layer, which is the aqueous layer, and then the mucin layer. Anya, likod anang mucin layer, we have the cornea na. But let's talk more here sa lipid layer. Since ang outermost part man sa tear film layer is our lipid layer, so mas makapenetrate siya better. Why? Because for example, if magmix ta og oil and water, di ba dili kay sila mag-mix well? Whereas if mix ta og oil, mas makamix siya og better. The same applies with this lipid solubility. That's why the higher the lipid solubility, the more the penetration. And then for the fourth factor, we have the surfactant. The preservatives used in ocular preparations, such as from the kanang mga eye drops, solution, contact lens solution, alter cell membrane in the cornea and increase drug permeability. So makakuan sad na siya, maka-alter na siya sa permeability. Pwede siya makakuha dayon sa mga preservatives na naangara or pwede sad na iya na i-inhibit. Depende na siya sa property sa drug. Okay? So mo nang maka-influence sad siya sa pag-absorb ana na drug, okay? Then fifth, we have the pH. The normal tear film pH is 7.4. And if the drug pH is different, it will cause reflex tearing. Unya, if magka-reflex tearing na siya, kay makuha na siya, ma-wash out the hinoon ang drug, di ba? So, mas magtikalas ang iya effect. Whereas, if mag-same lang kag pH anang sa tear film, sa ato patient is mas ma-effective na ang imong mahatag na drug. Mas ma-absorb man. Kay wala man na wash out. Okay. So now let's discuss about the mechanism of absorption of drugs from the GI tract. Specifically, if ang katong routes of administration, especially katong enteral o rectal, na mo pass through sa GI tract. So, mo ni siya ang iyang mechanism of absorption. Natay passive diffusion, facilitated diffusion, active transport, and endocytosis. So, ang GI tract, dili lang kay ni siya kanang limited ay sa GI tract ha. Absorption of drugs ni siya mismo. Okay, so first, we have the passive diffusion, wherein the drug moves from a region of high concentration to low concentration until equilibrium. So, based from this picture, makita ninyo na ang nutrient kay gikan siya sa high concentration, niya niagi siya aning cell membrane to the lower concentration. So, it does not involve a carrier and is not saturable. So, saturable meaning, ang meaning aning saturable is kanang naa siya limit. Pero since nakabutang man ani is not saturable, meaning ang passive diffusion is thereby not limited. So, we can say nga, if magtika taas ning concentration ani, anya magtika low ang concentration, no matter the difference, walay makalimit niya. Basta kay as long as high concentration to low concentration siya. Okay, mo na siyang passive diffusion. Okay? Ni-follow di sad siya sa Fick's first law of diffusion. Okay? So, in short, ang passive diffusion kay dali ra ni siya. Igo ra ni siya mo pass through freely. Our facilitated diffusion from the word facilitated, so gitabangan siya na diffusion. So enter the cell through specialized transmembrane carrier proteins, mo ni siyang carrier protein that facilitate the passage of large molecules. So dako ni siya, large ni siya, large. If ang kini siguro kay mas small, mas makapass through na siya freely ang sa passive diffusion. Whereas diri sa facilitated is tungod kay large, needs siya og carrier protein. It also does not require energy and can be saturated. Pwede ni siya malimit. And it also operates under Fick's law, but at a much faster rate that can be accounted by simple passive diffusion. Okay? So, mora na siyang idea sa facilitated diffusion. Naray carrier protein para makuha aning large na molecule para moadto sa pikas side. So, kuan gihapon ni siya, higher concentration to lower concentration. The same sa passive diffusion, okay? And then we have here active transport. So, active na. Dili na siya passive. So, it requires energy in the form of ATP, and it is also saturable. It is further subdivided into primary and secondary. Wherein ang sa primary kay mag-direct siya og require og ATP, whereas sa secondary is indirect lang. Sa active transport, if you have noticed, from lower to higher concentration siya. So mag-need siya ATP para makaadto sa PCAS side. Because large sad ni siya na molecule, okay? Then for the fourth, we have the endocytosis. It is where the transport drugs of exceptionally large size across the cell membrane. So dako kay ni siya. So it includes two types of processes. We have the phagocytosis, or also known as the cell eating, absorptive uptake of solid particles, and pinocytosis, or cell drinking, uptake of fluids, solute. Yeah, sa manipawasa. And then, so, mura na siya ang sa endocytosis, if dako na kayo. And then we have the exocytosis. If ang endocytosis is padulong siya, mag-engulf siya, ang exocytosis naman is whole molecules enclosed in a vesicle, then extruded outside the cell. Bali iya iluwa. Okay? Actually, ang kining endocytosis o exocytosis kay pwede sa ni siya mahimog cycle wherein pwede niya ma-recycle ang cells, pwede niya kaunon, luwa, kaunon, pwede na siya. So, we're done with the absorption. Let's proceed now with the distribution. So, distribution is the process by which a drug reversibly leaves the bloodstream and enters the interstitium or the extracellular fluid. I'll be discussing this later on. And the tissues. For drugs administered intravenously, absorption is not a factor because, again, ang sa IV, kay diretso na siya sa systemic circulation, di ba? So 100% bioavailability. So dili na to siya mo agi og absorption, diretso naman to siya sa distribution dayon. So what is the difference between absorption and distribution? So absorption is the drug towards the bloodstream and the distribution is bloodstream to the tissue. And we have here half-life, the time it takes for the amount of drug's active substance in your body to reduce by half. So let's say kuan natay drug na rin 100 milligrams. Okay? Nya after let's just say 2 hours kay nahimo na lang siya og let's say nahimo siya og 80 let's say 50 milligrams. So mo ning half-life niya kay ni half naman ang 100, okay? Then after sa another 2 hours mag-half na sad niyang 50 milligrams. So mahimo na siya og 25 milligrams then so on. Another na sad, another 2 hours. So 25 mahimo na siya og 12.5 and so on na siya. Hangtod ma-eliminate na ang amount of drugs active substance in the body. Okay? So this is the flowchart of the distribution on asa padung ang drug if ma-apply sa mata. So if we instill a drop here sa may cornea, so mag mag-take place ang transcorneal absorption. So absorb na siya if makabypass baka sa kanang makabypass baka sa tear film barrier o sa corneal barrier. That is, di ba? Then after aning transcorneal absorption, mag-accumulate adto sa aqueous humor. Okay? Then after sa accumulation in aqueous humor, mo distribute adto sa intraocular structures. Intraocular structures, we have uh, the the ciliary muscle, the dilator pupillae, and the sphincter pupillae. Okay? Then after na ma-distribute na ang drug ana ng mga structures, moanha na siya sa modto na siya sa trabecular meshwork. Ang kining meshwork or other vascularized sites. For example, the choroid, vascularized man na. So, let's talk more about the trabecular meshwork. Ang kining trabecular meshwork is separated ni siya sa blood vessels nga naanganhi on which we call the blood aqueous barrier. So, dili na siya maka-freely lang na maka-adto dayon sa blood. So, mag-need gihapon na siya og permission. Then, after na makaagi siya sa trabecular meshwork, is makaadto na siya sa systemic circulation. That is, if makaadto sad siya. Because, if you have already guessed, ang kanang mga eye drugs, kanang mga solution, mga anesthetics, is very low ang bioavailability ana. That is because daghan og barrier sa mata. Pinaka first is we have the tear film barrier. Ako muna ako nahon lang. Okay? So familiar na ta sa layers sa tear film. We have the lipid, the aqueous, and the mucin layer, di ba? So ang kining tear film actually mag-serve na siya og barrier. Makaapekto na siya sa absorption. So, done na ta sa tear film barrier. Next is we have the corneal barrier. So, the layers of the cornea, we have the epithelium, ABCDE, the Bowman's membrane, the central stroma, the Descemet's membrane, and the endothelium. Kana sila na mga layers, makaapekto sa siya sa absorption because they also act as corneal barrier. And then next, we have the vitreal barrier, wherein na siya hyaluronic proteoglycans na maka-apekto sad siya sa absorption sa drugs. And then we have the blood aqueous barrier, on which I've already discussed earlier. It is between the diri dapita ang trabecular meshwork and sa supply sa blood. Okay? So muna nagihapon siya barrier. Of course, if need sad siya barrier para dili murag dugo ang ato mata. And then for the fifth, we have the blood retinal barrier. So for the layers of the retina, daghan man to siya. 10 layers katong in new generation. Okay? So muna siya mag-serve sad to siya barrier for absorption, which as a result will also affect the distribution. And because of that, ang mga topical ophthalmic drugs na mga i-apply sa mata kay very low ang iya bioavailability compared sa other na mga drugs such as ang katong mga drugs na gina-intake enteral or parenteral. So, luoy kay ng mga topical ophthalmic kay gamay ra ila bioavailability. Pero in a sense, it is also beneficial because not all topical ophthalmic are designed to go into the systemic circulation. Mo na if magbutang ta og Medriatics, ang uban pasyente mo complain na naa sila'y headache is because nakuha na siya sa systemic circulation. So what are the routes of administration ocularly. We have the topical. Topical here mo ni siyang number 1. So i-apply ra siya dapita sa may cornea, maapektuhan ng cornea. Then we have the subject conjunctival or subtenon, kining number 2. Ani siya i-apply. And then intravitreal. So sa vitreous humor siya dapita. Peribulbar. So sa peribulbar siya ibutang nga rin. And then retrobulbar sa likod sa bulbar. So ang mga topical na mga ophthalmics kay diri siya sa number 1 ibutang, no? So mo ni siya ang pinakagamayan og bioavailability. Because compared sa kining subconjunctival, subtenon, intravitreal, peribulbar, retrobulbar, which are mostly for injection, makonsider na sila na parenteral. Meaning to say na ang ila effect kay diretso ngadto sa therapeutic site. Okay, next is we'll discuss about the physiochemical properties of drug, wherein we have the acidic or basic, binding to plasma or proteins, binding to tissue proteins, and relative blood flow to different tissues. So, dili kay ni siya need memorize, pero it's good to know na naay mga properties ani ang drug na ibutang sa mata. So let's discuss here now about the different fluid compartments of the eye. Not the eye. So in the body na ni siya. So we have here total body water. So our body has 42 liters. And that is subdivided with the extracellular fluid of 14 liters and intracellular fluid of 28 liters. Ang kining extracellular fluid is composed siya sa interstitial fluid of 10 liters. Plasma is 3 liters. Ang plasma kay mo ni siya ang liquid na part sa ato blood. And then transcellular fluid, which is 1 liter. Okay, proceed na ta sa elimination, which is comprised with the metabolism and excretion. So, in general nila, kay mo nang gitawag na elimination. So, sa drug elimination, ang main organ for metabolism is our liver, whereas sa excretion naman is our kidney. And this is an important term, kining clearance. It is the volume of fluid removed of the drug from the body per unit time. So, bali, per unit time siya magtika-tangtang, magtika-eliminate, muna siyang clearance. And then we have the orders of elimination. We have the first order elimination and the zero order elimination. So what is the difference between the two? Are also known as the first order kinetics or linear kinetics. This is a state at which the rate of an enzyme reaction is independent of the concentration of the substrate or drug administered. Wherein sa zero order elimination naman, it is nonlinear or saturation kinetics. So, unsa may example ani para ma-visualize gyud nimo ang first order of zero order elimination. So, this is the difference between the zero order elimination and the first order elimination. As you can see here sa first order elimination is ni follow siya sa half-life as what I have discussed earlier. So, magtikatunga-tunga lang ang iya unit per hour. So, from 5 nahimo sig 2.5 and then 2.5 to 1.25. Whereas sa zero order naman kay constant ang iya ha. So, makita nimo na ang iya pag-decrease is kuan siya linear. So 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So mura na ang difference between the first order elimination and zero order. Okay, now let's proceed with the metabolism. So mo ni siyang usa sa kuan, di ba? Sa elimination. Okay, so metabolism or biotransformation means chemical alteration of a drug into body to less toxic form. So the primary site of drug metabolism is liver. Metabolism also occurs in lungs, kidney, plasma, and blood. So dili lang kay liver ang maka-metabolize. For instance, sa ato mata kay dili man gina siya mo adto sa adto sa liver. So naay mga mo act as metabolizer ngadto sa mata, which is pwede ang lacrimal ang maka metastatize sa drug. Drugs are metabolized to facilitate clearance and activate prodrugs for enhanced permeability. So, unsa may prodrugs again, morning ang mga inactive drugs or mga dormant drugs na mo activate lang once na ma-metabolize. So, let's differentiate absorption, distribution, and metabolism again. So, absorption, drug towards the bloodstream, distribution, bloodstream to tissue, and metabolism, it modifies the drug to make it more water soluble and easier to eliminate. So, basically, metabolism is breaking down anang sa drugs. It may be na iya ang katong active drug kay iya inactive or ang katong mga toxic drugs iya less toxic or ang kining mga pro drugs which are inactive iya activate. So muna siya ang tulo sa metabolism. So let's talk about the first pass effect. It is a phenomenon which occurs whenever the drugs is administered orally, enters the liver, and suffers extensive biotransformation to such extent that bioavailability is drastically reduced. So muning mga ginatumar ng mga tambal kanang mga vitamins in tablet form or in syrup form basta kay orally siya gi-intake per orally specifically. Then while topical medications generally avoid the first pass effect, some metabolism can still happen within the localized area of application or within the eye itself. So again, sa ako gi-mention kanina, since dili man mo abot sa liver, na, usually ang mga ipangbutang sa mata kanang especially ang mga topical ophthalmics. So ngadto sa mata mismo mag-metabolize ang mga drugs na ibutang sa mata. So this is what I have mentioned earlier. So muning metabolism, muning purpose sa metabolism, ang mga toxic drugs iyahimog ng toxic metabolite, ang prodrug mga inactive is iya i-activate, then ang active drug na na-distribute na kay iya na i-inactivate para mas easier na siya i-eliminate. So there are two main phases of metabolism. We have the phase 1 and phase 2. So first is the phase 1 metabolism or the asynthetic reactions. So mo ni siya non ang enzyme adto siya sa non-polar na lipid soluble. Okay? Unsa man yung non-polar lipid soluble? Mo ni siya ang drug na nimo. For instance, kini ato example, kini active drug to inactive drug. So mo ni siyang active drug. So non-polar siya, nya lipid soluble, nya mo undergo siya either sa oxidation, reduction, and hydrolysis. Anya ang iya endpoint is mahimo siya og polar and water soluble para mahimo na siya og tai. So first is oxidation. Unsa may oxidation? Muna siyang mag-add ra kag oxygen or negatively charged radicals ang kini oxygen kay negative man siya. Nya reduction, removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. So H plus. Nya hydrolysis is cleavage of drug molecules by addition of water. So magpatabang ni siya daw sa water para iya ma-breakdown ning mga drug molecules. Mo nang pasabutan ning hydrolysis. Okay, we're done with the phase 1. Next is the phase 2, which is also known as the synthetic reactions. So from less polar to ang kiniding phase 2 metabolism is after ni siya sa phase 1 metabolism. So if dili pa enough ang iya pagka polar, iya pagka water soluble, so undergo ni siya phase 2 metabolism, which is less polar to less water soluble. Nya undergo na siya conjugating agents such as the glucuronic acid, sulfate, and acetate. Dili na kay ni siya needed sa ato pagka-opto, pero yeah. Then kung mo undergo na siya conjugation, mahimo na siya more polar and more water soluble. Mas ready na siya i-tae or i-excrete. Conjugation is defined as the process of attaching to a hydrophilic molecule to a metabolite. Dili ra kay na need. So this is the flow chart for the drug metabolism. So we have here drug. Kuha na siya, assuming nga kuha na ni siya, distributed na ni ang drug. So padung na ni siya metabolism now. So if ang drug is already hydrophilic, so since watery naman na siya, ma-excrete na siya diretso sa kidney. Okay? As ihi. If dili naman siya hydrophilic, if ang iya property is nonpolar or lipid soluble siya, undergo siya og phase 1, wherein we have the oxidation, reduction, and hydrolysis. So pwede na siya mahimog metabolism A. Okay? After sa humana siya, mas kuha na siya kanang less polar na siya og less water soluble. If dili pa enough, kay undergo siya og phase 2. Nya mo himo siya og metabolism B. However, if enough na ang kining nabuhat sa phase 1, polar og water soluble na siya, pwede ra siya diretso adto sa pagka-excrete niya as urine and bile. Pwede ra siya mo bypass aning phase 2 if ready na siya. Anya nasa tay drugs na diretso dra siya sa phase 2. Mo bypass ra sad siya sa phase 1. Mo ni siyang mga drugs na kanang mga less polar and less water soluble, gamay na lang kulang para kuan siya ready for excretion. So many of the drugs metabolized and excreted via kidneys or liver are mostly sa kini, for example kining timolol sa liver ni siya metabolize and excrete. Ang kining mannitol sa kidneys, acetozalamide is for kidneys, latanoprost is for liver, and local anesthetics is liver and plasma. Muna siyang may example sa mga eye drugs na muadto sa mo undergo siya metabolism via sa kidneys or liver, dili lang kay sa mata lang. So mo conscious siya, muadto sad siya sa systemic circulation. So mo sad ng reason nga nung especially ang kining timolol, ang iya side effect is magka headache siya ang patient. So we have here metabolic enzymes in the eye. Muna siyang mga enzymes if dili siya moadto sa systemic circulation. Muna siyang possible na mga enzymes na maka-breakdown mismo sa mga eye drugs na dili na moadto sa systemic circulation, okay? So no need ra kay ni siya ipang study, but I just want you to know na ang eye has the capability to metabolize the drug. So we're done with the distribution. Let's proceed with the excretion. So excretion is the removal of drug and it's metabolized through different body parts. So now, nanatay adme nga re. Ma-differentiate na nato sila tanan. I will just discuss about the excretion, which is the elimination from the body. Nakadiscuss naman tayo kanina. So here, we have the relationship with the administration, absorption, and distribution, and for the elimination. So those drugs that are administered orally or rectally, moadto na siya sa gut or sa GIT tract. So since ni adto naman siya, moadto na siya sa liver para magka-undergo og metabolism wherein mahimo siyag bile, nya moadto na sad siya sa GIT, then mahimo na siya og tae. And then we have for the intravenous, diretso siya sa plasma since itusok man siya sa vein mismo. So sa plasma kay since sa blood sa systemic circulation man na siya mo pwede na siya ma-excrete as urine via the kidney. Or sa mga babae, pwede sad na siya ah, sa mammary glands, sa breast, and pwede sad na siya sa sweat glands. So, it can be as milk or sweat. And then we have the intramuscular, 90 degrees muscular. So, magtikahinay-hinay man na siya muscle to the plasma. So, maapektuhan nga ra, depende ra na sa bioavailability sa drug. Then, the same as for the intravenous, ma-excrete siya to urine via the kidney. Nya intrathecal, mo tusukon ngadto sa padung sa CSF, and inhalation. Inhalation is pwede siya sa plasma and pwede sad siya sa respiratory, expired air. Imo na exhale. So mga connected ra na. Ang kining percutaneous pwede diri ang intradermal. So skin, moadto siya sa plasma, then to the kidney and to the urine. Okay? So mora niya siyang main ang kidney og ang sweat glands mga basta sa mga parenteral na route of administration, parenteral man ni sila. Ang nakalahi ra gyud aning sa enteral or ang kining oral or rectal kay moagi jud siya sa gut sa GIT tract nya didto mo tae. Okay? So these are what the principal organs are involved. So na siya lahi-lahi na tawag sa excretion. Kidneys is for renal, bile is for biliary, lungs is for pulmonary, saliva is for salivary, milk is for mammary, and sweat is for skin. For topical ophthalmic medications, these principal organs may not be the main site of excretion. Okay. Ang katong mga sweat glands, kidney, dili siya ang main. Unless if part baka siya aning sa mga timulol, manitol, kay pwede siya sa ma-excrete as urine. However, instead, tiered drainage and non-enzymatic degradation, ang kining mga enzymatic degradation mo ni siya ang katong i-discuss kinina, mo ni siya mga enzymes, metabolic enzymes. Within the tear film are the primary mechanisms for eliminating these drugs from the eye. Okay? So, mo ni siyang excretion sa mata. So, drug clearance. So, nagamit na ang word na clearance. Mo ni siya ang elimination of drug per unit time, di ba? via nasolacrimal drainage system into nasal cavity. So you have your drainage of excess volume, induced lacrimation, and basal tear flow turnover. So mana siya, makapekto ang lacrimal secretion system sa excretion. Then we have drug absorption and clearance via conjunctiva and blood or lymphatic vessels. So again, katong moagi siya sa trabecular meshwork to the blood aqueous barrier to the systemic circulation, pwede ni siya mabilong rin sa blood vessels, blood or lymphatic vessels. Pwede din to ma-excrete or sa conjunctiva, ang conjunctiva vascularized man na. So pwede sad siya anha. Labi nang kanang mga ointment type mga ophthalmic topical ophthalmic wherein imo ipahid siya sa sa palpebral conjunctiva. So dira mabsorb na siya dira and clearance na siya. So other contributing mechanisms for the eye is blinking, spillage, drug metabolism, drug protein binding, evaporation of tears are also contributory factors which helps to eliminate the drugs na mabutang. So we have here optimization of drug half-life. Na-mention na rin kanina ang half-life, amount of time it takes for the drug concentration to fall half of its original volume. And then maintenance dose. Drugs are generally administered to maintain a steady state concentration within the therapeutic window. And then we have the loading dose, which is a drug administered to achieve the desired plasma rapidly, followed by a maintenance dose to maintain the steady state. This is the example for the maintenance dose and the loading dose. So again, ang importance aning loading dose and maintenance dose is to optimize the dosage para malikyan ang ato nato ang katong half-life, which is the first order elimination. So as you can see, kining sa red line, since wala siya optimization without infusion siya. So, ni-undergo siya half-life and thereby ni eliminate siya as the time goes on. Unlike sa kining loading dose, rapid ang iya pagkakuha sa therapeutic effect na desired and by the time nga ni naog siya kay ginatumaran siya og dosage para ma-steady state siya. Muna siya ang loading dose. From up to low, pagka-low niya kay gi-steady dayon. And kining tan color baka ni, it is infusion without loading dose daw. So meaning, this is our maintenance dose. So, curve siya pataas, no? Ang iya pagka steady state is belong siya sa therapeutic window. Meaning to say, as long as naa siya therapeutic effect sa patient nato. So I guess that ends for the presentation regarding the pharmacokinetics. As usual, some exercises, some test exercises are provided in the description below, and also the references are also written in the description. So I hope you have learned anything, and that ends for my presentation. I thank you.